Thanks for joining me here today. So the question, right? I don't understand why is she still with that guy, or I don't understand why he's still with that girl, right? So how many times have we came across this question, whether it's with a family member that's going through some sort of relationship? It could be a personal relationship that you are going through, regardless to the situation itself. How many times have you came across this very question? Now, I was having this discussion with someone recently and this question came up, and the person, the guy, he didn't understand why a female or male continue to carry on a relationship even though deep down inside they know it's not doing them any good, right? It's causing them some sort of pain. So this is the perspective I brought into his awareness, or I just having a casual conversation, I let him know. I said, um growing up, we're told time and time again, right? Personally, as a female, I can only speak for myself, but I said, I remember growing up, my parents, my siblings, or, family members, teachers, authority figures, anyone and everyone would constantly say, oh, be a good girl. Or the first thing they do when they greet you, sometimes they wouldn't even say hi. It's, are you being a good girl today? Right? So then, as you continue to hear this, right, repetitively all the time from everyone around you, you're very susceptible to the information that's coming in. So here you are, you hear this, and this is what you keep hearing day in and day out. Are you being a good girl, or are you being a good boy? And what I explained to him is, think about it. When you're really told to be a good girl or a good boy, how many times were you feeling uncomfortable? But even though didn't agree necessarily to the directive that was being told, right? You might have been feeling very, very uncomfortable. You still did it because we're so young that we think if we don't do this one thing, our mom, our dad, or whomever, the authority figure is telling us, they're going to reject us. They're not going to love us. So to people please them, right? Because they're the ones that we feel that we obtain love from, we we would do it. So to give you an example is, I remember growing up all the time, because you're a girl, they used to tell me, hey, go give this family member a hug. Aren't you going to hug grandma, or aren't you going to hug grandpa or uncle or whomever, right? And you're young, you're little, and sometimes you're shy, or sometimes you just really don't feel comfortable with people hugging you. And let's be honest, there's always this one person that gives us the creeps, right? Whether it's a friend or anything like that. Now, our relatives takes us to visit strangers or family members we've never even met before. Here's the first time, and just because they feel comfortable with the person or the individual, they feel that you should feel comfortable instead of allowing us to have our own process. So what I've told him, and the connection here is, we're molded to be the good girl. So that means we have to, we give our all, or it depends on what interpretation of what that meant for you growing up. In most cases, me personally, anyways, it was, I'm gonna be a good girl and do this thing, even though I feel really, really uncomfortable, even though I'm, wanting to scream inside of me, and just allow the interaction, allow the conversation, allow to be in a room that I don't want to be, allowed to be in a place that I just want to leave. I want to go home, because you're young. So what happens is, as we continue to grow in society and we go to school and so forth and so on, and then we create relationships, this paradigm belief, right? This way that we've been molded, and we're going into a relationship, that's what's triggered. So here you are, you're in a toxic relationship, and it feels very uncomfortable. It's not really serving you, but subconsciously, without even realizing it, here you are being a good girl. So he's cheated on you and this and that, and then the belief of, boys will be boys and be a good girl, he's the man you chose, or he's the one you love, and you have all these other things that come into place. I won't bring it up here, but the whole, right when you're going to walk away, it's, what, disregard your discomfort, disregard how uncomfortable you're feeling, just be a good girl. And then they stick with that relationship, right? And they feel hopeful that, oh, that person will change. And they don't really take it for face value as to what it is. But it's really because we've been programmed to just be a good girl. So it's not that the person doesn't see the discomfort, or the person doesn't see that it's not serving them. Is that in reality, they don't know any better. They're really, really functioning from the best of their capabilities, which is being a good girl. Personally, for me, I've taken this where I've grown and become aware of this realization. So, for example, for my own daughter, I just tell her, do the right thing. I replace it with that. Why? Because if you're doing the right thing for you, it's always the right thing. You're not responsible for anyone else. So if you're looking for a replacement, if you're looking to how to shift it, just say you always do the right thing. And sometimes the right thing for you might be the wrong thing for someone else. And that's none of your business. That's none of your concern. So this is my message to you. And if you see someone in that situation, number one, mind your business. And number two, just really come to the understanding that they're really operating from the best that they can. And until they decide that they want better and they realize that they can have better, then they could realize that you could really let that go. Let go of being a good girl or being a good boy, because that's part of people pleasing and it's not really serving you. Do the right thing for you, and it'll always be the right thing. And it will leave you feeling empowered, healthy, happy, joyful, and just really confident and trusting in you more and more each day. All right, guys. So until next time, remember to like, share, or subscribe, and talk to you next time. Bye.